You know that moment when you're in a crowded room but feel completely invisible? Like you're watching everyone through glass that only you can see? You notice things others miss. The micro expressions, the unspoken tensions, the way someone's smile doesn't reach their eyes. If you're nodding along, this message is specifically for you, because you're an INFJ, and everyone else should stop watching now. We're about to dive into the psychological reality that separates your mind from 98% of the population. Before we start, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss any of our weekly deep dives into the world of personality types. And if you are looking to achieve a deeper understanding of yourself and your personality type, click the link in the comments to take our favorite free personality test. The neurological reality behind your difference. Your cognitive function stack isn't just personality theory jargon. It's the actual wiring that makes you process reality completely differently than almost everyone around you. Your dominant function, introverted intuition, operates in a constant pattern recognition mode, much like a supercomputer analyzing every interaction and situation for more profound meaning and future possibilities. While others see what's happening right now, you know what it all connects to, what it means, and where it's heading. But here's where it gets intense. Your secondary function, extroverted feeling, means you're simultaneously absorbing emotional data from everyone in your environment. You're not just noticing that someone seems upset, you're actually feeling their emotional state as if it's your own. This introverted intuition and extroverted feeling combination creates an exhausting reality where you're constantly translating between your internal pattern recognition system and the emotional needs of everyone around you. Most people process information linearly. They see facts, then form opinions, then maybe consider feelings. Your brain does all of this simultaneously, while also running threat assessment protocols that most people don't even have. You walk into a room and within seconds you know who's lying, who's hiding something, who can be trusted, and who's performing a version of themselves. This isn't paranoia. It's your neural wiring doing precisely what it was designed to do. The psychological cost of this processing power is enormous, because you're the only person in most rooms who sees what you see. Imagine being the only person who can see colors in a black and white world. You try to explain what you're perceiving, but others look at you like you're making things up or being overdramatic. So you learn to translate yourself, to speak in their language, to pretend you don't notice what you notice. This constant translation creates the INFJ paradox. You desperately crave connection with someone who gets how your mind works, but you also need extensive alone time to process all the data you've absorbed. Your brain literally needs downtime to sort through the patterns, emotions, and insights you've collected throughout the day. Without this processing time, you start to feel like you're drowning in other people's emotional static. Your tertiary function, introverted thinking, adds another layer, because while you're absorbing all this emotional and intuitive information, you're also analyzing it for logical consistency. You notice when people's actions don't align with their words, when systems aren't functioning efficiently, and when there are better ways to solve problems. But since you're also highly attuned to harmony through your extroverted feeling, you often stay quiet about these observations to avoid conflict. This creates internal tension between what you know to be true and what you think others want to hear. You see solutions that others miss. You understand people's motivations better than they know themselves, but you hold back because you've learned that sharing these insights often makes people uncomfortable. They'd rather stay in their illusions than face the patterns you see so clearly. Your brain's threat assessment system makes you naturally selective about who gets access to your inner world. This isn't antisocial behavior. It's sophisticated filtering based on pattern recognition that's proven accurate time and time again. You've learned through experience that most people can't handle the depth at which you operate, so you protect yourself by maintaining psychological distance until someone proves they can meet you at your level. The strategic power of psychological separation. Your psychological separation isn't a character flaw. It's actually your most significant competitive advantage in a world where most people are too emotionally invested to see clearly. While others get caught up in drama, politics, and social dynamics, you maintain the objective distance needed to understand what's really happening beneath the surface. This separation gives you a bird's-eye view that others simply cannot access because they're too busy being players in the game to see the entire board. Your ability to step back psychologically allows you to read people and situations with unusual clarity. You notice power dynamics that others miss entirely. You see, when someone's being manipulated, when a relationship is toxic, when a business decision is being made for emotional rather than logical reasons, this isn't cynicism. It's pattern recognition combined with emotional intelligence that creates a form of social X-ray vision. Most people make decisions based on immediate emotional reactions or social pressure. You make decisions based on long-term pattern analysis and a deep understanding of human motivation. This gives you a significant advantage in everything from selecting romantic partners to navigating workplace politics to making informed investment decisions. While others are reacting, you're strategizing based on information they don't even know exists. Your selectivity in relationships isn't antisocial behavior. It's sophisticated filtering that protects your energy and ensures you invest in people who can actually reciprocate at your level. You've learned through experience that surface-level connections drain you without providing the depth and meaning you need. So you wait for people who can match your emotional and intellectual intensity, rather than settling for relationships that leave you feeling empty. This filtering system extends to every area of your life. You're selective about jobs that align with your values, selective about social situations that feel authentic, and selective about commitments that serve your long-term vision. Others might call this picky, but you understand that your time and energy are finite resources that need to be invested wisely. You'd rather have 3 deep, meaningful connections than 30 superficial ones. Your need for meaning and depth protects you from wasting years on pursuits that look impressive from the outside but feel hollow on the inside. While others chase status, money, or social approval based on external validation, you're guided by an internal compass that points toward what actually matters. This saves you from the midlife crisis that hits people who suddenly realize they've been living someone else's definition of success. The leadership potential that comes from your unusual perspective is enormous because you see solutions that others miss entirely. You understand human motivation at a level that enables you to inspire and guide people toward realizing their full potential. You can see the bigger picture when others are caught up in details, and you can maintain emotional stability when others are reactive. These are the qualities that create transformational leaders rather than just managers. Your psychological separation also gives you the ability to hold space for others without getting pulled into their drama. You can listen to someone's problems, offer genuine insight and support without taking on their emotional burden as if it were your own. This makes you incredibly valuable as a friend, counselor, or leader because people feel heard and understood without feeling judged or overwhelmed by your own emotional reactions. Living as the exception to every rule. Most advice about relationships, career success, and personal development wasn't designed for how your mind works. The extroverted networking strategies that work for others drain your energy. The small talk and surface-level socializing that others use to build connections feels like torture to you. The motivational advice about pushing through discomfort ignores the fact that your discomfort often comes from being in environments that fundamentally conflict with your nature. You need to stop trying to fit into systems that were designed for the majority and start building life around your actual operating system. This means accepting that you'll never be the person who thrives at significant networking events or feels energized by constant social interaction. Instead of fighting this reality, you need to find ways to build connections and advance your career that align with how you actually function. Your instincts about people and situations are usually accurate, even when they contradict what others believe. You've probably had the experience of getting a bad feeling about someone, only to have others tell you you're being too judgmental or not giving them a chance. Then, months or years later, your initial assessment proves to be correct. This pattern repeats because your pattern recognition system identifies inconsistencies and red flags that others may miss or overlook. Trusting your instincts means making decisions that may seem unusual or unconventional to others, but that ultimately protect your well-being and align with your values. It means leaving situations that look good on paper but feel wrong in your gut. It means saying no to opportunities that would drain your energy, even if they might advance your career. It means choosing depth over breadth, connection over networking, authenticity over performance. Your psychological separation serves as a compass for making decisions that align with your true self, rather than external expectations. When something feels off to you, it usually is, even if you can't immediately articulate why. When something feels right, it's worth pursuing even if others don't understand your choice. Your internal guidance system is calibrated differently from most people's, and learning to trust it is essential for your well-being. Finding people who operate at your depth level requires patience and selectivity, but these connections are well worth the wait. You need people who think about life, philosophy, meaning, and purpose, not just surface-level topics. You need people who can handle emotional intensity and intellectual complexity. These individuals are rare, but when you find them, the connection is unlike anything most people have ever experienced. Building a life that works for you means creating space for solitude, reflection, and processing time. It means choosing work that aligns with your values, even if it pays less or seems less prestigious. It means protecting your energy by being selective about the commitments and relationships you enter into. It means honoring your need for meaning and depth rather than apologizing for it. Feeling different isn't evidence that something's wrong with you. It's proof that you possess a rare and powerful way of processing reality that most people will never access. Click the link in the comments to take our favorite free personality test and check out the other videos on our channel, and subscribe for more insights into the INFJ mind. If you want to continue the journey to understanding yourself or an INFJ in your life, click either of the following videos where we continue to unlock the secrets of the INFJ personality type.